Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise, and today I wanted to try and get a few questions answered. Admittedly, at this stage, with the game having only just been announced, there's only so much information we can gather, but I reached out to Sox, Monster Hunter EMEA community manager, and asked a few questions to try and fill in some gaps. Again, keep in mind, at this stage it is far too early to be asking questions like, how many monsters are there? Is there a new weapon, etc. But we did still get a few interesting bits of information nonetheless, so if you guys do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated, and be sure to keep it locked for plenty more Monster Hunter Rise content. So, first up, initial question is about the map. Obviously, Monster Hunter at its core is not an open world game, but the question was, of course, can we expect to see the same open map design that, say, World introduced? And the answer to this was that, while Monster Hunter obviously is not an open world game in the conventional sense, it's still going to be very much as we expect, with quests and adventures taking place on different maps. However, Rise has built upon the seamless exploration from World to create an experience even more open, where both players and monsters can move from one area to another seamlessly without any loading screens. But on top of that, we saw this shown in the trailer. There's a ton more verticality this time around, with players able to scale tall cliffs and use this to kind of get around for some even more exciting combat opportunities. So that's kind of what we got on the map front of it. Obviously some of this we saw in the trailer, but just the fact that we are still working around a much more open aspect to exploration, verticality, lots of that is definitely exciting. I then followed up by saying, what kind of monsters and new monsters can we expect to see in Rise? To which I was told, much like we've already seen from the trailer, we see returning faces like Tobikadachi and Azeros, and we then get to see a nice spread of some of the new monsters with things like Great Azuchi, Tetranodon, Magnamalo, etc. But on top of that, there will be a variety of other creatures that inhabit the landscape, which expands the ecosystem, and we got to see some of the endemic life. We even saw like Tanuki at the very beginning, but they said there will be more creatures to show in coming months, and one of the key features of Rise is the broad variety of monster types. Now this is incredibly awesome to hear. We already got a glimpse of this in the trailer. I mentioned this in my initial reaction, I mentioned this in my trailer breakdown, how the trailer did a really good job of just showing like a very small but broad selection of monsters in different categories. We're very used to seeing, flying wyverns over and over again, but the fact that we've already seen fanged wyverns and bird wyverns and, even spiders, that goes to show that we are already in for a treat. And if one of the key selling points of the game is that there are going to be a broad variety of monsters, it really does give me hope that we might see the return of things like crabs, more insects, other things like that. So I'm very excited to see how that pans out. I then went to say, can we get any more details on the Palamutes? And at this stage, they are keeping things pretty top level. So we were told pretty much what they said in the direct, that Palamutes are of course the new canine hunting companions, and they're customized for each hunter. They're said to offer a wide range of offensive options and can act as trusty support companions in battle, but they do plan to reveal more information on these at a later date. So after that, I then said, can we expect to see the same kind of post-launch support as other Monster Hunter games? Event quests, DLC, that kind of thing. Admittedly, if you guys have been playing Monster Hunter long enough, you'll know this is pretty much a standard, and we've had this going for a long time. However, nice to get the clarification. They did say that they definitely want to ensure that Rise players have a long and engaging experience, so they fully intend to support the title with free content after launch. But for now, of course, the focus is on the main game release on March 26th. Following on from there, quick technical question, as I know a lot of you guys sometimes ask these questions or want to know this. So what engine is this running on and what frame rate are they targeting? So the game is built on the RE engine and they're currently targeting 30 FPS. And the final question, this is to sort of ask one of those sort of commonly raised points or questions whenever like a new Monster Hunter game is announced, but how does Rise sit alongside the mainline series and why is it not a numbered title? And the answer for this one explained that at its core, much like we'd expect, Rise has the traditional Monster Hunter experience, but at the same time the game is intended to be a fresh experience, introducing some new fun mechanics. We've already seen the wire bug as a means to get around and enhance our combos, so that's just a sample of how Rise is going to add its own personal touch to the game. In terms of why it's not numbered, I mean, if you've been playing Monster Hunter long enough, you'll be familiar with the format, but for those of you perhaps that got into the series more recently, then the answer to this question is that, much like World, Rise retains all the DNA of the Monster Hunter series that we know and love, and it's not considered a derivative or even a spin-off title. Regardless of what form the series takes, every title has had the same hard work and passion behind it, and moving forward, the Monster Hunter team are more interested in naming the products in a way that represents what they have to offer. We already know back when World first launched that they opted for a named title over a number to make it more appealing to newer players, and it seems moving forward that that is what they intend to do more of. So you can expect to see much more of this naming convention for all titles in the future. But anyway, that's pretty much all I could get at this stage. Again, as and when they start speaking more about the game and I get a chance to reach out to the team and speak to developers and stuff, then I'll try and sort of bring you guys more in-depth information. But for the time being, those are a few questions that I was able to get answers to. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope it's shed some light on some stuff, and of course keep it locked for plenty more Arekkz content. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, you can join the Arekkz Gaming Discord. We've got an awesome community over there with so many different channels for you to chat loads of different topics and different games. I'm in there, the team's in there. If you guys want to chat with us, find people to play with, it's just in general a great place to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads.